Make it 5 degrees at the airport at 8:04. Good morning, everyone. The squeeze on parking spots in the downtown core seems tighter than ever as Calgary's new cycle track takes shape. But a new report coming out today suggests there are actually more parking spots now compared to 1 year ago before the bike-only lanes. 80 more parking spots to be exact. The report says 397 spots have been taken away because of the cycle track. 477 have been added, though, so there's a net gain of 80. This report, by the way, being presented to the city's Transportation Committee today. Of the 477 spots added, 329 are regular-sized spots. 148 are reserved for car share companies like Car2Go. For the core, as always, the issue of on-street parking hasn't changed much. It's still hit and miss. Some councillors, though, say drivers need to get their head around the fact parking downtown is changing. It's all part of a growing city. Looking at the bigger picture, the city says right now there was a total of 4,763 on-street parking spots in the core compared with 4,683 last year. Again, net gain of 80. When you look at things like parkades, though, there are roughly 50,000 spots in the downtown core. Also in City Hall, we could find out today what councillors think about fines going up for people who do not move their vehicles for street sweepers. A proposed fine increase from $50 to $120 will be debated later this morning. The proposed increase is to offset the cost of towing vehicles so sweepers can do their work. If approved by committee and then by full city council, the new fines could go into effect before this year's street sweeping season wraps up at the end of June. A new study is suggesting that shrinking budgets in the oil and gas industry means up to 185,000 direct and indirect job losses could happen this year. The report by Enform's Labor Market Division says Alberta would be hardest hit by any cuts. The pain, though, would be spread throughout the country. The study says engineering construction firms are most vulnerable, roughly 75,000 jobs on the line. Exploration and development drilling could also lose as many as 26,000 jobs. Enform says energy companies are increasingly looking at creative ways, though, to avoid cutting staff, things like job sharing, shorter work weeks, and reduced pay. It's been 2 weeks since Albertans elected an NDP government. We have not heard a lot, though, from Premier-elect Rachel Notley. We don't know, for example, when she's going to be sworn in as Premier. We also don't know when her cabinet will take office or when a new budget will be coming down. These are all questions that have left some Albertans feeling uncertain about the future. But Mount Royal University Policy Studies professor Laurie Williams points to Peter Lougheed and when he was sworn in within 2 weeks of winning the election in 1971. It took some time, though, for him to deliver a budget.
We're looking at a new government after 44 years, or nearly 44 years. So look back at what Peter Lougheed did when he came into power. You know, it was a very major set of shifts and changes that happened, and he took a careful and a measured approach to that. I think a lot of people had similar questions at the time. A lot was unknown. It was a matter of trying to get information about what's actually been going on historically and building on what's good and changing what needs changing, and that takes time to plan.
In fact, when Peter Lougheed won the election, it was in August of 1971. His new budget didn't come down until March of 1972, more than 6 months later. His Tory government, of course, taking over after only 36 years of social credit rule. Rachel Notley taking over after 44. So the whole bottom line is to give her a bit of time. There you go. Say it away. That's your news.